everybody, this is Rebecca Titila with Aroma Hut Institute, and today I want to talk about common mistakes made when you're making perfume. Now, perfume making is an art, and when you begin to practice mixing these molecules together, you're going to be creating something brand new. And sometimes it doesn't always turn out the way you want. So there is a lot of mistakes that are being made along the process, and things that are going to be a flop, things that are going to be wonderful, and you're going to wonder, how did I do that? I want to recreate that, and you forgot to write it down. So what we're going to be talking about in this video is the common mistakes made and how you can avoid those. Number one, mixing too much. Now, we tend to get really crazy with our blending, start adding a lot of essential oils in as we're going, and unfortunately, you can't take it back once you've added it. So this is probably one of the biggest mistakes made, is that we end up making way too much, and then if we don't like it, we've just wasted a lot of oil. So the best way to begin and avoid this is not to try to make large batches of anything. Try to make a very small amount and try to see if you like it. Add the carrier, let it sit for a couple of weeks, and then if you love this, then you can make more of it and just duplicate it. Number two, not letting it cure. Longer infusion may or may not always translate into something smelling better. But sometimes after you've made all of your adjustments, you will find there are two or more components that aren't working well together, and this can cause a discord. Allow your blend to sit for 48 hours and longer in some cases, just to see if you have harmony in your blend. If further adjustments are needed, you will want to allow it to sit for several days and even weeks. Number three, poor storage. It's important that you store your perfumes properly. Now, for starts, you want to make sure that they're stored in small perfume bottles or containers. It is room temperature, and it's not going to be subject to swings of hot and cold and light. And so the change in temperatures can cause the container to expand and contract. This allows your perfume to leak out. So what you're going to want to do is make sure it's stored in the properly sized container, and that the least amount of air can be in it. Number four, rushing. You may want to rush things to be done quickly. Unfortunately, aromatherapy is a science, and you're going to want to balance things before you release that scent. So if you rush things, it's going to end up ruining the entire batch, and you've wasted all those hours of working on it, plus all the materials and supplies that you used. When getting started making your first perfume, you want to make sure that you're relaxed and set aside that time to do this. You want to have all your products out and ready to go, and that way you get off on the right foot. I want to talk about some of the frequently asked questions that I get regarding making perfumes and doing aromatherapy blends. One of the questions that one person asked me is, why does my perfume blend only last a very short time? This is often due to the fact that it's not blended properly in the harmony of your accord, meaning that you may have an unbalanced blend of too much top note maybe. Maybe the head or the top note is getting lost, and that way you're not really getting the full length of time that your blend will last. So the best way to fix this is to work on your ratios and making sure that your head notes that are going to be volatile notes, that while they will evaporate, you will have enough balance of the middle and the heart note, and then the base notes will also follow. The question that I've been asked is, my perfume is too strong, can I dilute my perfume? Yes, you can actually. Now, once you've got your formula down and you like it, but you're feeling like it's just overwhelming, overpowering, you're going to want to add a blend of 9 parts alcohol to 1 part distilled water. And this will blend in nicely and help to dilute it without you losing the actual structure of the blend. Another question I've been asked is, how long should I leave my fragrance to sit? Well, this is going to be as long as you can wait. The longer you wait, the better it should get. There are blends that are not going to be necessary to sit a long time. But when you leave your blend for a week or so, then the notes are going to begin to work together. And this is before you dilute it, okay? And then once you're happy with it, then you go ahead and add your alcohol mix with your water and then allow it to sit 4 to 6 weeks. Another question I've been asked is, are natural essential oils better than synthetic oils? Well, not necessarily. I know that I primarily work with essential oils and like to work with natural extracts. However, I still enjoy all of my perfumes, and a lot of people are surprised when I show them my collection. And I like to pick up a bottle of perfume when I visit other countries, just as a nice token of remembering that trip, and the experiences I had there. And it just makes it nice to have that. It's going to be according to what you enjoy. Now, in some ways, synthetic versions do have an advantage. They are going to last longer. There is that note that's going to help bring out that exact nuance that you're looking for in your blend. Certain scents that are not going to be able to be duplicated with essentials. And so there are going to be some varying scents that you're going to want to add in. Other people will just simply want to stick to the natural essential oils and understand that there are certain things that we just won't be able to add to our blends because it's not in nature. One of the most frequently asked questions I get is, how many drops do I use? Well, we've talked in other videos, you want to go check that out or check it out, about the velocity of your blend and the ratios. Now, there's certain oils that are going to be thicker than others. Myrrh essential oil is a thick oil. There's some others that are base notes, that are heavy oils. So a drop could mean a lot more than a drop of lemon oil because of the weight of the oil. And so you're going to want to maybe use scales in that case when you want to get exact measurements of your blend, knowing that I usually follow a general rule of thumb of 600 drops is equivalent to 1 ounce. And then you've probably heard me say another 300 drops in a 15 ml. And I usually say that a 5 ml is 100 drops. Now, that's not hard and fast because there are going to be oils that have heavier oils and there won't be as many drops in it. So you might want to use scales to weigh out for exact measurements. Another problem that you might incur is wondering, why are your perfumes cloudy? Well, maybe there was some contaminants or something in the water that you added. Usually it's because of water. And so what you're going to want to do is filter and keep your perfumes in a dark, dry place so that you can avoid the condensation that might build up in the bottle. Usually you can correct this problem. Okay, here's another question. What packaging keeps perfume the longest or longer? Now, perfume stored in a spray bottle is going to work the best. Atomizers reduce the amount of contact with the blends, and so it's not going to get into the air until you spray it. So really, spray bottles work best. One writer asked, my solid perfume won't harden. What should I do? Well, in this case, you've probably added too much oil and not enough beeswax. So you're going to want to remelt your product and then, of course, add more beeswax pellets to it and let it harden again. And then you'll get that right consistency. Someone also wrote and asked, my perfume turned cloudy when I added hydrosol. What did I do wrong? You're going to want to make sure that you're using the right proportions of hydrosol to alcohol, and you also want to make sure that you're using perfumer alcohol. And this is designed for cologne, so this is going to be the best formula for you in making sure you get your ratios right and you have the right product. One writer says, "My perfume feels sticky on my skin. How can I keep this from happening?" Again, you're going to want to check your ratios and check your oils to make sure that some of them haven't gone rancid or maybe are getting too old to be used. You want to check on that. And the concentration that you're using. That's going to be the biggest factor in making sure that your perfume oils don't turn out sticky and gummy. Well, I hope that this helped, and I hope I answered your questions for you. Please give us a like if you found this information good and informative. If you have a question that you would like for me to answer, please leave it in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.